This week we are coming at you guys live from the RetroZone at the Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, celebrating, that's right you guys, the nerd holiday of the year, Star Wars Day. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast, live at the RetroZone at the Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And anyone listening to this show has to know that today is May the 4th, which is kind of a nerd holiday, right?
Yeah, I'm more of the Revenge of the Fifth guy, but yeah.
So, yeah, it's Happy Star Wars Day. And that's what this episode is all about today. We are talking about Star Wars. We're going to go through some of our favorite things, some of the stuff we really love about it, and anyone who happens to be around towards the end, we're going to throw out some trivia questions for some prizes. So let's just kind of jump right in. I have to ask you, Taylor, what was the first Star Wars movie you ever saw?
First Star Wars movie I ever saw was Empire, and I had my tonsils taken out, and it was on TV, and my father was like, you need to watch this, and so I watched it, and I liked it.
Were you kind of just hooked from moment one?
Yeah, everything is like cool, lasers, knights, and it was definitely like something I'd never, as like a kid, never seen anything like it, but yeah, just instantly drawn in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. My first one that I know that I watched was also Empire, but the first one that really stands out is because my best friend at the time was so into Star Wars. My dad was more of a Trekkie guy, so we didn't really watch Star Wars at home, but my best friend wanted to go to the movies and see Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which, tons of people love that one, right? It's become beloved. But we saw that together, and that instantly made me want to go back and watch everything that existed at the time.
That's awesome. I actually have a funny story about the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters was when they re-released them for the special editions.
Yep.
And my dad and I went to the first one, or 4, and a fire alarm went off right when the Death Star was about to blow up in the place because they had burnt the popcorn. And so the alarm started going off, and a lot of people just thought it was part of the thing, and it wasn't. Yeah.
It was the 4D theaters before they were
exactly. This is way before. This is what was that, 90s?
For the
special editions?
Was that right around when they started doing, or that was right before they started doing the
prequels?
The prequels, yeah. Yeah, I never had a chance to go see, we got a Wookiee in the background. We never had a chance to go see any of those until the prequels started coming out, but that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So, one other thing about today, it's May the 4th, it's Star Wars Day. It's also Free Comic Book Day, and that was kind of fun going out this morning, finding a few books, but there happened to be a couple of Star Wars books in the mix. There was a new Star Wars book that kind of centers around, I believe, Darth Vader. I haven't had a chance to flip through it. And then there was a comic based on that new children's series, the Young Jedi show.
Oh, that's awesome.
The cover looked really cute. It had that character, the little blue guy. I cannot think of his name, but D. Bradley Baker does his voice. The artwork looked cool, and I know it's for little kids, but I had to snag one.
Gotta get a Scotty Young drawing of those guys.
Oh, yeah. That would be amazing. Okay, so Star Wars, obviously, it started off 1977, this kind of a cult thing that no one really was thinking was going to blow up, and then suddenly it blows up. And we get the couple of sequels, and then, couple decades later, we get the prequels, and then fast forward to now, we got the sequels and all these series. I think I wrote down we have 15 movies, 9 animated series that are released. That doesn't even count the ones yet to be released that we know about. We've got 5 live action series with 2 on the way. That's a lot of Star Wars.
It is. And what's crazy is that if you look at these dates, there's a long period of none and then a ton all at once.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a nerd right now.
yeah, absolutely.
And along with that, there's the countless amount of extended universe books, the ones that are considered legends now. There's comic books, there's video games. I know you're more of a video game guy than I am. Have you ever played and really enjoyed some of the Star Wars games?
Yeah, I really liked the Battlefront games were fun. I think my favorite Star Wars game was like Force Unleashed.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. My favorite Star Wars games are the Lego Star Wars games, but after that, it's the Force Unleashed games.
Right. That's what I was going to say. The only Star Wars games I really played was, remember back in the day, the Pod Racer game?
Oh, yeah.
I played that one.
I love that. Yeah, exactly.
N64. And then we had, kind of like you just said, the Lego games. But
Did
that's
you
kind
ever
of
go like and find all the codes for the 64 pod race so you could get all the
absolutely.
extra pods and stuff? That was so cool.
I had a friend at school who, I don't know, I've probably mentioned this before, growing up, we weren't, too well off or anything, but I had some friends who subscribed to all those magazines and
like
everything.
Nintendo Power and
Yeah,
stuff.
and they'd bring them to school and we'd all be writing them down in
Yeah.
our notebooks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thinking about all this rich history that comes along with Star Wars, what do you think would be out of that big list of movies? If you had to pick a top 3 favorite, what do you got going on for you? What's your top 3 favorite?
So my very favorite is Rogue One.
Okay.
Is my favorite Star Wars movie. Second favorite's Return of the Jedi. Then,
It's hard, right?
yeah, Empire, maybe.
Yeah.
If I did the top 3, that's probably what it is.
This was very hard. Out of 15 movies, and I'm one of those nerds who just kind of loves it all. It's kind of like I have 4 kids. How do I pick my favorite kid? Same with students. I have 143 students this year. And, well, that might be a little bit easier to pick favorites, but we're not going to go there. But out of these movies, I could say 3 different answers 3 different times, and then I'd be right every time. But I'm going to go with my number 3 on the list was... Do I want to change it? No. Okay, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
I just really liked... I was in college at that time, finally had my grown-up money, going to the movies, and just that moment at the end when you see Anakin become Darth Vader, that just stands out in my mind.
No.
Right. And then you really fully see how evil the Emperor is in this episode. Episode 1, as much as people didn't love it that much back in the day, it's the first one I ever saw in the theater. It's quite honestly the first one that I paid attention to, if that makes sense. Empire was the first one I ever saw, but that one stands out because I was with my best friend. We got to see this at the theater, and it's what opened up my imagination to loving all things Star Wars. And I think if I had to pick number 1, it's going to be Empire Strikes Back. It's just so good.
I mean, that's like the film choice, right?
Yeah.
Out of like all of them, it's probably the best movie, maybe. Like, just technically. But yeah.
And you put Rogue One on your list, and that's if I had honorable mentions, that would definitely be on there.
Yeah.
That was such a good movie.
It was a surprise how good it was. Yeah.
And we kind of knew what it was leading to, but to actually see that very end scene with the CGI Princess Leia.
Which kind of, well, even before that is, let's talk about our favorite scenes.
Yeah.
We had you sent me a question, like, what are your 3 favorite scenes?
Yep.
One of mine, Rogue One, is at the end when everything's blowing up and they're sitting watching it happen.
Yeah.
That scene to me is just beautiful. Because it's like they won, but it's like this bittersweet knowing that it's over for them as well.
Yeah, they won, but they won for someone else.
Yeah.
For other people.
Yeah.
You're right.
That scene is like just holds a lot of weight, and like it sets up the rest of the rebels basically forever after that. And it's like it shows that like the rebels aren't about themselves; they're about the future generation taking up that mantle so that they can be a republic again, basically.
Yep. Let's see. If I throw one in there. Again, this was way harder than even just picking the movies. Because I'm pulling from the cartoons, from the TV, from all the movies. This one is not everyone's favorite movie, but the Solo, A Star Wars Story. The scene when Han Solo meets Chewbacca for the first time. I just love that scene so much.
It's a good one.
You don't know what this monster in the pit's going to be, and it comes up and it's, oh, that's Chewbacca. Oh my gosh, this is how they meet. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, my second one, Darth Vader talking to the Mercs. Is it on Empire, right?
That sounds right.
And he has to tell Boba Fett no disintegration, which either says that Darth Vader just really is specific, or that Boba Fett's such a bad bounty hunter that he disintegrates everything he sees. But that I love that scene because it's like the first time you get to see all those characters in live action, those mercs, and to me, like growing up, those are some of the coolest characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Especially after Shadows of the Empire, where you had them basically all the mercs chasing, and so you got to see all of them in action. I think that was the first time I understood that IG-88 was like a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
This was really hard to not pick a ton from the original movies because there's so many good scenes, but I feel like all mine are from newer stuff. So my next one on the list, in the Obi-Wan series, when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are having that massive battle at the end, and the lightsaber just busts open Vader's mask, and you see Anakin's face, and he's freaking out.
Oh, and the vocal box is like going in and out.
Switching back in and out, and he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's amazing.
That's my second one.
And my third one and final one is the Return of the Jedi, the space fight at the end.
Yeah.
Is so epic and massive.
Yes.
And we got to see a lot of ships that we haven't seen before, like all the Star Cruisers that were on the Rebel side. We had never seen a single one of those before that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Just tons of ships. From everything from all the different wings to different TIE fighters it was just crazy.
Speaking of Return of the Jedi, my sister lives up in Oregon near those redwood forests and everything. She lives very close to where they filmed a lot of the indoor scenes for Return of the Jedi, and I have yet to be able to go visit her, and that is something I definitely want to do when I go visit her, is try to check that out. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Those trees are so big. Let's see, my next one. This was a very hard one to pick. Obvious question, who's my favorite Star Wars character?
Ahsoka
Tano. So I had to pick from the animated stuff, just that moment when she kind of begins to renounce the Jedi, all the corruption and everything that's going on, and they say something about, something about the Jedi, and she looks at him and says, I am no Jedi, and then goes medieval on him, and yeah. That is my number one. Anything that involves her, but especially that particular scene was so cool.
So let's rate our favorite characters.
Yeah.
We got a top three.
I got a top three. Again, man, this was so hard, but I picked my three.
My first one was the Gonk droid.
Right?
I'm just kidding. My first one was C-3PO.
Yes.
Mostly because I like the idea of a robot with an anxiety disorder.
Right. How'd that get programmed in there?
You see him, like, especially like how when he has the red arm and he's like, you probably don't recognize me just from the red arm. Like, I don't know, but that's just, to me, he's like the funniest character in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most relatable characters in Star
Yeah.
Wars. If you really think about it, like, he probably acts like a lot of us would act in those situations.
Right.
So just, swinging arms back and forth in place and screaming. So, yeah, that's my first one.
And I love that Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, has been in more Star Wars movies than any actor.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I also love, when it comes to C-3PO, when you see him being built, and obviously Empire was the first one I saw, but when you watch episode 1 and you realize, oh my gosh, Anakin built him. That was a cool revelation back in the day. Let's see, my first one on the list, I gotta go with Master Yoda, original OG Yoda. Grogu is awesome, but I just love Yoda. And it's funny how in the movies, when he first is, premiered in the movies, he's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Very silly kind of a character. And then towards the end, he gets a little bit more serious. But one of my favorite pieces of all Star Wars is the Clone Wars animated series. And he is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very wise, very...
ever present.
Yeah, he's awesome. And obviously with the prequels as well, when you see, especially that battle with Count Dooku, the CGI Yoda flipping all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that was wild. The first time you saw that and being like, oh, that's how he fights.
Right.
Because you never saw it. We never, like...
You're like, how could this little
guy
up?
be... Yeah.
But yeah, Yoda's my first one on the list.
Also, can we talk about how relatable it is that Luke asked so many questions that Yoda just died?
Yeah.
It just, of us who have children, you kind of have that same understanding.
Yep. Just kind of fades away.
The next character on my list is Mace Windu.
Okay.
He is the biggest BA in all of Star Wars.
I can agree with that.
And I would challenge anyone to that.
You got no challenge here, I agree.
I mean, and the man can have a purple lightsaber, and it's cool,
I
not
agree.
girly.
Yeah, and out here in the real world, in the past couple years, Samuel L. Jackson is extremely expressing a desire to come back and play Mace Windu again.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Yeah, I would love like a Mace. What if we had like a Mace Windu series, but it was like shot like a Tarantino movie?
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing.
It'd be kind of cool, like kind of interesting if he was laying low, doing all this stuff that we didn't even know because he's thought of as dead. And yeah, that'd be. I want to know.
Yep.
My next one on my list, I'm gonna go with the smoothest man in the galaxy, Lando Calrissian.
Oh man, so cool.
I love that character so much. He is just the quintessential smooth guy. And you hear all the stories about, he used to own the Millennium Falcon and all this. And I love how we got to eventually see those scenes in the Solo movie. Him losing it to Han
And being a Han cosplayer.
yeah. And every time I think of Lando, I think of how much I would love to see one of those young Indiana Jones style series where we have Donald Glover playing a young Lando and Billy Dee playing the original Lando, and he's kind of sitting back in a recliner and he just kind of says, remember that time when, and he goes off, and then it shifts over to Donald Glover actually playing it out. I would love a series like that so much.
Yeah. Wasn't there talks like a Donald Glover Lando series at some point or another? I wonder if that's still like a thing or if it's been lost to production.
I don't know.
It'd be cool.
That would be so awesome.
All right, my last of my three, this is more of like a design thing than it is like I like the character, is General Grievous.
Yes.
That blew my little mind when he pulled out 4 lightsabers at one
arms all
time. Like,
separated.
as a kid, like I just remember seeing that and being like, that is the most terrifying thing in all of Star Wars. And then later, like the memes of him like breathing really hard and like stuff like that happened. And then it was General Kenobi. General Kenobi. Yeah. Very cool character.
My number one, I've kind of already said it in the last question, but my favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. And the funny thing is, it couldn't have been farther from the truth when that Clone Wars series first came out. I don't know, as a teacher and all this, that young, angsty, annoying, doesn't really do what she's told, gets in a lot of trouble. But by the time we get towards 3rd, 4th, 5th season, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this character.
Yeah, the character goes from being annoying to being so cool.
Extremely cool.
Literally, that progression is like really cool throughout that story because I'm like kind of late to the Clone Wars thing and I like started it late, but like we had talked about it and you were like, I was like, how do you like this character? She is so annoying.
Yeah.
And then seeing that progress and then being like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yep. And, speaking of all the Clone Wars, this past week, The Bad Batch had its series finale. And when I think of the character Omega on The Bad Batch, same thing. It was kind of annoying. Up until, I hate to say this one, the series finale. I think it was a 2-part, maybe 3-part series finale. But those last few episodes, I really loved the character. And then, spoilers, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. There's a bit of a time jump at the end, and you see her as an adult going off to fight with the rebels. She was super awesome, and I really hope we get more of that character. And maybe her own series, who knows?
All right. And then I think we have 2 more questions left. One is top 3 favorite series. I'll just give mine real quick because it's not like we're going to do an overall of all of them. But,
Sure.
Droids
Yep.
was the first Star Wars cartoon I ever saw.
Yep.
And the first time I ever saw Boba Fett.
And that's the one where he's riding in the giant dinosaur-looking creature.
Yeah. I think, wasn't that like a Ralph Bakshi movie?
I think so.
Like he did like Wizard and a couple other things too. He's really cool. And then there's the Ahsoka series.
Yep.
But I kind of liked the bad guys in that series a lot.
Yeah.
That and then Clone Wars. That's what I'm watching right now.
For me, and this is in no particular order, and again, I could have picked 3 different ones that I'm about to say and still be right, but the first one that jumps in my mind is Clone Wars because it's the first one I saw, because there wasn't really a lot of Star Wars shows until Disney+. So the Clone Wars, I loved it. I've watched through the entire series at least twice, and several episodes more than twice. And let's see, the next one, The Mandalorian. It's funny how many people have joined the fandom simply because of The Mandalorian, and that makes me super happy.
Yeah, who would think like a Western would save Star Wars?
Right. And I'm still, hoping by the time this thing wraps up, we get a little more lore into whatever the species Grogu and Yoda are.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. And man, it was hard for me to pick a third one. If I had to pick, They're all so good to me, but it was a tie. It was hard. I really like Andor. That one was a slow burn because I watched the first 2 episodes about 3 times before I kept going.
Oh, yeah.
But my actual answer is going to be Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more Ahsoka, get to see the crew on the Ghost. And seeing those guys in her live action series was awesome. And again, it was hard. I wanted to pick the series Ahsoka, but it's more like a continuation of The Mandalorian anyway, and I already said The Mandalorian, so it is what it is there. I like them all. And I think our final question is, over the years, what has Star Wars meant to you as a nerd in this fandom?
For me, Star Wars was an escape from a rather not fun school in growing up. So, it was one of those things that's like I could hide it here for a while, enjoy myself. It was just like another way for me to just dip out for a little bit.
Yeah. Same here. As a kid, an escape is absolutely accurate for me too. And then as an adult, it's kind of a community.
Yeah, it is. And it's not like there are definitely bad parts about the community and there are good parts.
Yeah.
We've made that pretty known throughout the podcast, but we still love Star Wars.
Absolutely. Well, at this portion of the show, we're going to begin our trivia. And let's see. Anyone in the room right now who feels up to answering a Star Wars question for some free prizes? All right, we're going to throw out some trivia here. Star Wars trivia for May the 4th. Okay. Are you feeling pretty confident about some Star Wars trivia?
Not at all.
Not at all. You know what? That's okay. So, if you don't mind, tell us your name and where you're from.
My name's Merritt, and I'm from here.
Awesome. So, okay. This one's a practice question just to get us comfortable here. Star Wars takes place a long, long time ago in a galaxy where? Far, far away. That is absolutely correct. Okay, now that we got the warm-up. Yes. We got the warm-up out of the way. Let's see. Ooh, how about this? How old is Yoda when he dies?
When he dies. I'm going to go with 500 years old?
Little older. A bit older.
How much is a bit relative to 500, I guess? Let's go with 800?
Much closer. A little less.
Then 900.
Ding, ding, ding. 900. Yoda was 900. First try. That's absolutely right. All right, let's see here. Here are some Star Wars Legions figures for you.
Very cool.
Thank you for participating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we got our next contestant here. First, if you don't mind, tell us, who are you and where are you from?
My name is Jack Cowman, and I'm from Overland Park, Kansas.
Sweet. All right, Jack. So, what do you think is your skill level of Star Wars trivia before I ask the question?
Probably not very good. I had a Star Wars phase like 2 years ago, and I'm
Okay.
just relying on memory.
So maybe I shouldn't get too crazy here. Let's start real simple. What is Baby Yoda's actual name?
Grogu.
There we go. Easy. Ding, ding. Grogu. We got it. We got a winner here. Let's
I
see.
think I'm gonna start kind of posing.
We have...
Have we done video?
Do you guys play Xbox One?
I do.
Do you okay? Do you have one of these? Do you not have?
I do not have Squadrons.
Dude, there you go. You do
Let's
now.
go.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, congratulations and thanks for playing. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. We're gonna go back to Heights.
How do you think you feel about answering a Star Wars trivia question for some prizes?
Come on, man. Do it. You got this.
I'll make it real simple. How about this? Tell us, sir, what is your name and where are you from?
Josh, and I'm from Kansas.
Josh from Kansas. All right. So, what planet is Luke Skywalker from?
Tatooine.
Tatooine. Yes, that's right. Ding, ding, ding. How about a $10 gift card to the RetroZone? Congratulations. Thanks for playing. All right, we have our next question here. Let's see, sir, if you don't mind, who are you and where are you from?
Xavier Miller from Kansas City, Kansas.
Sweet. Xavier, how about this? In the first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, A New Hope, what crucial secret does R2-D2 carry in his memory and gives it to Princess Leia?
Plans to the Death Star?
Plans to the Death Star. That's absolutely right. Congratulations. Let's see. Here's a Chrysanthemum action figure just for you. Thank you. Thanks for playing. All right, we have our next question. Let's see. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Sasha, and I'm from Bonner Springs, Kansas.
I'm from Bonner Springs, Kansas. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm a teacher at the high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What do you teach?
I teach advanced biology. I've been there about 10 years now. No one ever says they're also from Bonner Springs, so sorry for nerding out, you guys. Let's see. I don't want to make it too hard, but also not too easy. Oh, how about this? What is the name of the Force-attuned gemstone that gives a lightsaber its concentrated energy blade? Kyber crystal! Yes! Ding, ding, ding. You win a prize. $10 gift card to the RetroZone. You're welcome. Thank you for playing. Do you want to answer one too? Nope. Okay. All right. All right, guys. We have our next contestant. If you don't mind, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Henry. I'm from Kansas City, Kansas.
Sweet. Welcome to the game here. So, how about this? What is the name of Luke Skywalker's uncle that raises him?
I don't know.
No, that's okay. That one was Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen.
I knew it was on like the tip of my tongue because I was thinking about a WWE
Right. How about this? Which character actually killed Jabba the Hutt? She is one of everyone's favorite characters. Princess Leia, that is absolutely correct. She kills Jabba the Hutt, right? How about this? Some Star Wars Legos.
Oh, sweet.
All for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you. You too.
Hey, we have our next contestant, and if you don't mind, would you tell us who are you and where are you from?
I'm Dominic De Leon, and I'm from Shawnee.
Awesome, Dominic. Let's see. Let's get a question for you here. How about, what is Darth Vader's real name?
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker, that is correct. All right, let's see. You get a prize. $10 to the RetroZone. Awesome. Thank you for playing. Okay, we have our next contestant here. If you don't mind, tell us, who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Ben, and I'm from Lenexa.
Lenexa, all right. Ben from Lenexa. Let's see. Your question is going to be, who killed Qui-Gon Jinn?
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, that is absolutely right. You get a prize. Let's see. $10 to the RetroZone. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah. Pom, 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 pom. You're very welcome. Let's see. Dad, you want to answer one too? Let's see if we can get a little tougher. Also, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Brian, Lenexa.
Okay, Brian from Lenexa. We know Brian. Your question is, how quickly did Han Solo boast that the Millennium Falcon could make the Kessel Run?
12 parsec?
That is right. Under 12 parsecs, you also get a prize. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. This classic VHS release of the original Star Wars movie. Put it on your mantle. Awesome. Thank you guys for playing. All right, we're ready for our next question. Sir, if you don't mind, tell us, who are you and where are you from?
Let's see. My name is Caleb, and I'm from Emporia, Kansas.
Awesome.
All right.
Caleb from Emporia. Got my master's degree there. Okay. What is Emperor Palpatine's Sith Lord name?
Oh, no.
Darth something or
Clue,
other.
it's not the Emperor.
My brain's only coming up with like one name. Is it Sidious?
Darth Sidious, yes. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let's see. Are you $10 for the RetroZone?
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for playing.
You guys have a good day.
You too. All right, you guys, we are here with our next question. Sir, if you don't mind, tell us, who are you, where are you from?
My name's Jadati Maserati, and I'm coming out of Kankakee, Illinois, you heard me?
Awesome.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
What did you say you're from?
Kankakee, Illinois.
I'm from Kankakee County.
So what part of Kankakee County you live in?
Bourbonnais.
Oh, that's right up the street.
Yeah.
So you went to break BBCHS?
No, I actually lived here, and then we moved up there for work. And I lived up there for like 10 plus years. Had some family up in there. I met, when I was up there, I met like Keith and Lil Reese and all them when I was doing DJing up there too. So, yeah. Yeah, because K3's where Twist is from.
Yes.
Yeah, he used to do, there's a little piano bar. It's not there anymore. It's a liquor store now, right?
Yeah, it used to be
And he used to play piano with Barry Manilow. Yeah.
It's a small world, man.
That's wild. And I go to Boz for the Italian beef. Yeah, and Poor Boys for Poor Boys. You go there with the grape jelly and the wings and whatnot. Oh yeah, it's hard.
Hey, let's see. Let's make it a little easy, but not too easy.
Yeah.
Who's the only character in all of Star Wars to have a purple lightsaber?
Purple lightsaber? I just seen one outside. Dude just left with a purple lightsaber.
Snakes on a plane.
Okay.
Think Jenga.
Okay, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep. So who?
I don't know his name, but it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, he absolutely got it. Samuel L. Jackson playing Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Yes, the only
The baddest man in the galaxy.
with a purple lightsaber. How about this? We got this first release of Phantom Menace on VHS.
What?
First edition release.
Well, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you playing.
Yeah, man. Really appreciate you talking some Kankakee with me.
All right, you guys. Well, that was a lot of fun. Everyone that came out today to listen and play trivia and everything, celebrate the nerd holiday of the year, Star Wars Day. thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to the show. One last bit of info, all the Star Wars fans. If you are a fan of Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire released on Disney Plus today. So yeah, make sure you go home and watch that. And thanks for coming out once again, having a blast with us. We hope you guys come back next week. We're going to continue talking about X-Men 97, all the rumors and good little tidbits we keep getting from Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you name it. But as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye-bye.
Bye.